Alright, recording take 2 and go. So, one thing I actually want to tell you guys before I say anything else, this is my goal. This is what I want to do with my time. This is what I want to do with my time, and I'm willing to stay up late to do it. It's about 11:38 right now. I'm planning on staying up later to do more research. I've been researching everything from high-altitude ballooning to manned high-altitude ballooning to different spacesuits, pressure garments, makers of pressure garments, the price of helium right now, the price of hydrogen in comparison to helium, that kind of deal. You can kind of see where this is going. I have a pretty good dream. I think I have very good determination. And I'm going to tell you what that dream is. I want to be able to see Earth from afar. And I think it would be great to do that. I'm not doing it for fame. I'm not doing it for money. If I was doing it for fame, I would become a rapper or a singer or something. If I was doing it for money, I would become an entrepreneur. If I wanted to have a dream, I would become a young man with a dream with time, which I am. So, enough talking. This is the Electronic Code of Federal Regulations.gov or the ECFR.gov. It basically highlights, I should say, not overrules, highlights most, if not all, different types of federal regulations from multiple different federal entities of government. So, basically, what you can learn from the internet, freaking amazing stuff. Just to put it bluntly, it's amazing. So, for example, they have a definition of terms here, which is great. Airworthy means the aircraft conforms to its design type and is in condition of safe operation. I'm assuming of the user. And the second tab that I have open here, and this is just their general outlines for FAA regulations in general for any aircraft. This is for airworthiness standards of manned free balloons. So basically, what Felix Baumgartner used, what Alan Eustace used, those are manned free balloons. They go up, helium expands until the balloon goes pop, and maybe a few thousand feet before the balloon pops, space jumper jumps out of said capsule. Then, when balloon pops, parachute deploys, and then, space capsule drops to the ground. However, there's also another way of doing it. You could literally just say goodbye to the middleman, say goodbye to the capsule. And you can also do it like how Alan Eustace did it, who is the current world record holder for altitude of space jumps, is literally just have yourself be the space capsule in the sense of everything is self-contained, everything works in order, everything is safe for you and will ensure you to get back home to Earth. For example, one of the things I saw that Alan Eustace used was, weirdly enough, a neck dam, which is basically a barrier for your neck. In regards to, it separates one section of your neck for your helmet and then one section of your neck for the suit. It's usually made of rubber, and it basically makes a seal around your neck, and that not only helps out with the structural pressure integrity of the suit, it also helps out with carbon dioxide in the sense of all the carbon dioxide that you go through, the waste gas that's exhausted through your nose or your mouth, carbon dioxide, or water vapor as well, goes through a separate kind of tube in a sense, because Alan Eustace actually used a pilot's oxygen mask, which was amazing in my opinion. So you don't have to have like a free flow system. It's more of a demand flow system in the sense of every time you breathe, you're getting air as you need it. But basically, he was using a neck dam, as I said, and when Alan Eustace breathes out, that goes through a separate exhaust valve that goes to the neck dam, and all that carbon dioxide doesn't go past this part in the neck dam. Really genius stuff. Another thing that really is more specific to spacesuits is their ability to withstand and specifically contain pressure. Usually it's actually more of an engineering challenge to withstand pressure than it is to really contain pressure. Because when you think about it, I'm a scuba diver, for example. I do scuba diving as a hobby. And you have to go down, and there's a point in the ocean in which you're just not going to be able to go down anymore, and you can't, we can't dive to the Titanic. It's not physically possible, at least at this point. Therefore, because of just the crushing depths of the ocean, we literally have to go inside of submarines, which is really interesting. But opposed to scuba diving with space skydiving, it's for lack of a better term, you just have to. I know I'm saying you just have to. It's still a big engineering challenge. You have to keep in the pressure of the spacesuit. So whatever atmospheric pressure of 1 atmosphere, which is basically this is 1 atmosphere. I'm talking to you in 1 atmosphere, right? So if you can keep 1 atmosphere in a suit, in a barrier, like a pressure garment barrier, up to 55,000 feet and above, you're pretty solid there. And that's still a big engineering challenge. But I mean, you guys can literally look this up. The Sokol spacesuits, as in SOKOL. They're Soviet, and also I think they're also Chinese spacesuits as well. Ha ha! Don't judge them. Not everything in China that's made is cheap. But basically, the Sokol spacesuits are literally you get into it through the front. If I could adjust the camera here, you get into it through the front of the spacesuit, and you have your little neck ring that you put over your head. And then literally, I know it sounds stupid, but it's genius and simple. Is you have a basically within the pressure garment, like the pressure barrier, you have a knot system, I guess, if for lack of a better term. You have a tie that you have to tie very specifically in order for no pressure to really leak out, and it's going to be extremely unlikely for that pressure garment to fail. Genius stuff. That's why I like the guys at NASA and Roscosmos and the ESA and the CSA, as in the Canadian Space Agency and the European Space Agency. Love those guys. But nonetheless, aside from that, how am I going to get back down, right? So how do I get back down from a capsule that's, maybe plus 66,000 miles up, or more? What comes up must go down, so skydiving, that's where it comes in. And this is actually, you may laugh at this, but this is actually a really great way to start. It's a wind tunnel. But it's basically a wind tunnel that's been flipped on its side, or vertically upwards, and it has a circulation system that can blow anywhere from 25 miles an hour of wind to 100 plus miles an hour of wind, which is amazing. They also have, I'm sure they have tons of regulator systems on there that regulate the pressure or the speed of the wind that you're going at, which is very safe. I'm going to skip this because it's just easy furs. This is interestingly enough, is a old Soviet era pressure helmet. And these are very interesting in the sense of that how they operate, and I've kind of analyzed this. If you look here, oh, geez, that's small. But yeah, if you kind of can see it here, there's a I'm just looking for a better picture right now. I mean, it's just not doing too well. Close enough. So it's on a hinge, right? So if I can tilt my head this way, there's oh no, it's actually this way. Sorry, you have a hinge here, and I was always wondering there's this bolt that is on another hinge that swings out on a different axis. So what I gathered, because there's actually a seal on the outer, or I should say the inner ring that mates with the visor, basically, and when that happens, you just create the seal of the gasket, basically. You have the gasket and then you have the seal. So that the one axis, the visor goes down, and then you basically, this is the visor, right? So you basically clamp down this axis acts as a clamp. So you clamp it down, and then that shuts the visor and creates a seal. Pretty interesting stuff. But, high altitude flight helmets are nice and all, but how am I going to stay cool? How am I going to stay cool during re-entry? How am I going to not burn myself to death? And also, how am I not going to freeze to death? There's a lot of variables within spaceflight. One of them is freezing to death. Another one is burning to death. Another one is micrometeorite radiation poisoning. There's a lot. List goes on. But nonetheless, this is a really cool thing in the sense of this is a cooling garment. They have a backpack here that you open up and you fill it with water and ice, and that becomes ice water. Who knew? And it circulates around your body. Now, what does this look like? I have no idea what this looks like. You may say. Boom! Looks like the NASA guys found it first, but now it's in the hands of civilians. Heck yeah! And, we have that. We have it now, which is awesome. Very happy about that. And I also think this is funny. You got a little balaclava going on there, your thing there. Which is interesting because not even the NASA guys thought about that. I mean, they didn't think about the facial head region, which I thought was really weird. I always thought that was kind of weird. But you know what? Kudos to Camp Cooler, or Comp Cooler. Camp Cooler. Kudos to those guys. You finally did it. Finally got NASA running for their money. But nonetheless, another thing I've actually realized, if you guys, I'm going to open a new tab. I can't even speak today. I think too quickly. This is Alan Eustace's spacesuit. So, an interesting thing that I'll show you guys here. Meh. If it would, no, fuck it. Okay. So I'll just point my cursor here. That black around the neck is the neck dam. And he actually had to do pre-breathing for about an hour, I think he said. He had to be in that suit for an hour, and he was fine, which was awesome. And then this is the suit itself, with Alan inside of it. He has 2 separate redundant oxygen tanks, communication lines, a visor to protect from debris or whatever have you, and he also has a communications cap. He also has what's called obviously an oxygen mask, but it's a fighter pilot oxygen mask, by what I know, which is interesting because it's demand flow. It's not free flow, like I think I've said before. What I mean by that is when you need air or when you breathe in, there's a one-way valve that gives air to the pilot, or Alan Eustace in this case, and then when he breathes out, there's another tube that actually goes separately, like I said, below the neck dam, which is great for pressurizing the suit and keeping carbon dioxide away from you. There's so many different things that I thought were so just genius about this design. I mean, absolutely amazing. There's also this. This is Alan in his spacesuit. So he had multiple cameras above him to document his free fall. I believe he also had a little camera around his head region to capture a POV and also an external shot of his face, which is very interesting. And this is just amazing stuff to me. I mean, to think that people have gotten this far in society, and just humans have gotten this far to really understand the fact, us ourselves are mere collections of particles of nature, really, and that we've gotten so far. It's amazing stuff. But I'll leave off with this. I know you guys are probably sleeping at this point, but I'll leave off with this. I will say that I think the most important thing I want to say right now is just that I feel very happy that I know everyone here, and that I feel very blessed to be on this earth and to be able to share my experiences with you guys. This is just my own research. I mean, I'm sure there are tons of people out there who know much more about pressure garments than I do, but this is just from my own research. And I really hope to inspire some more people about my own goals and my own dream. And more importantly, I want to inspire people to follow their other dreams, their dreams specifically. I don't want to, it's all me, it's me. No, it's you guys. I want you guys to follow your dreams. This is just my own thing, But I really hope that I've enlightened some people today and taught someone something. But nonetheless, I've recorded this twice. Hopefully this one actually works out better. But nonetheless, good night, everyone. Tired as hell. I might want to go to sleep, but yet again, sleep is not really my thing. I want to make the dream a reality. I can't sleep for dreams. I gotta not sleep for reality. So I'll be researching more. Have a great night, everyone. This is Scout Fox signing off.